Welcome back to the last and final reading with Cord before we get into the finale of Dragon Age Origins. It's been a long ride. As usual, I'm joined by the voice in my head who is completely blind to this playthrough. That's gonna be the trend for the vast majority of the games I play. The vast majority of the games I play on this stream going forward, the voice in my head will be completely blind to and has never seen before. However, I'm afraid to announce that we'll have to take a unspecified amount of time break after the stream due to busy schedules and everything. So we're just going to finish Dragon Age Origins and see where we go from there. To start with, let's talk about Andraste, bride of the Breville Cheesemaker. Breville Sandwich Maker. She's in charge of where to keep the ham and the cheese. There was once a tiny fishing village on the waking sea that was set upon by the Tevinter Imperium, which enslaved the villagers to be sold in the markets of Minrathros, leaving behind only the old and the infirm. One of the captors was a child, Andraste. She was raised in slavery in a foreign land. She escaped, then made the long and treacherous journey back to her homeland alone. She rose from nothing to become the wife of an Alamari warlord. Each day she sang to the gods, asking them to help her people who remained slaves in Tevinter, and to provide her with succulent ham. The false gods of the mountains and the winds did not answer her, but the true God did. The sandwich maker spoke, bequeathing her with all the cheese and the ham she requires. He showed her all the works of his hands, the Fade, the world and all the creatures therein, the ham, the cheese, the tomato, the margarine, the spring onion, the regular onion, the cucumber, the lettuce, the pickle, and the tin of baked beans, all of which are perfect to fit into his Breville sandwich making world. And I'm surprised I didn't get a laugh out of you. But anyway, let's continue. And it came out your nose. He showed her how men had forgotten him, lavishing devotion upon mute idols and demons, and worst of all, the manufacture internet cafes. Yeah, they're idols and they're MacDamons. And how he had left them to their fate. But her voice had reached him, and so captivated him that he offered her a place at his side, that she might rule all of creation. But Andraste would not forsake her people. She would have her ham when she was ready. She begged the sandwich maker to return, to save his children from the cruelty of the Imperium and Facebook. Reluctantly, the maker agreed to give Ben another chance. Andraste went back to her husband, Matharath, and told him all that the maker had revealed to her. Together they rallied the Alamari and marched forth against the Mage Lords of the Imperium, and the maker was with them. The maker's sword was ham itself. Fire and flood, cheese and tomato, famine and earthquake, spring onion and pickle. Everywhere they went, Andraste sang to the people of the sandwich maker, and they heard her. The ranks of Andraste's followers and sandwich eaters grew until they were vast. They were a vast tide washing over the Imperium like a flow of tomato ketchup. And when Mafraf saw that the people loved Andraste and not him, a worm grew within his heart, gnawing upon it. You don't like toasties, do you? At last, the armies of Andraste and Mafraf stood before the very gates of Minrathous. But Andraste was not with them, for Mafraf had schemed in secret to hand Andraste over to the Tevinter. For this, the Archon would give Mafraf all the lands to the south of the Waking Sea. And so before all the armies of the Alamari and of Tevinter, Andraste was tied to a stake and burned, while her earthly husband turned his armies aside and did nothing. For his heart had been devoured. But as he watched the pyre, the Archon softened. He took pity on Andraste and drew his sword and granted her the mercy of a quick death. The sandwich maker wept for his beloved. He cursed Mafraf, cursed mankind for their betrayal and their unwillingness to eat his toasted sandwiches, and turned once again from creation, taking only Andraste with him, and Our Lady sits still at his side, where she still urges him to take pity on his children and let them eat ham. Please, let them eat ham. For some reason I got a message that didn't get through. Okay, weird. Anyway, let's find out some. No. I know. I mean, I was saying I got a Discord message from Tyrant that didn't get through for some reason. I don't know why. Do you want to read about Antiva? I mean, that's technically where Zevran's from. Antiva is... Oh, go on. Voice in my head. The only relevant Antiva has to the story is that is where Zevran is from. It's not really that relevant otherwise. Do you want to hear it? Good. I'm trying to look, alienage isn't that important right now. Dragon cult's not important. The Orlesian Empire, here we are. This will be relevant in the future. There are many lords and ladies in Val Royeaux, in France. And I mean this literally. Once, the system of noble titles in Orlais was labyrinthian. There were barons and baronesses, and baronets, and sir barons, and a horde of others, each with its own origins and its own nuances of comparison. France, am I right? The Orlesian aristocracy is ancient and much given to competition. All the nobility play the grand game, and it is known whether they wish to or not. It is a game of reputation and patronage, where moves are made with rumours and scandal. With rumours and scandal is the chief weapon. No gentle game, this. Blood has been drawn as a result of the grand game and any war the Orlesians have fought. Of this I am assured by almost every gentleman here. Just like France! They're too busy killing each other to realise they've not got an army left. That... Pretty much, yeah, the Orlesians are kind of like the medieval French Empire. When they're not busy having wars against England or Spain or Holland, they're busy trying to kill each other to get on top. This pretty much is medieval France. As far as titles went, everything changed with the coming of Emperor Dracon, who established the Orlesian Empire as it exists now, and who created the Chantry. See? They are medieval France. They are religious zealots, and the medieval French were religious zealots. There is no more venerated figure in Orlais in Val Royeaux. The statue of Dracon stands as tall as the statue of Andraste. Dracon determined that the grand game was tearing Orlais apart, so he abolished all titles besides his own, and Lord and Lady. And thus it became not so much about the game, but how you play it. I am told with some twittering amusement that the action did not end the grand game as Dracon had intended. Now the lords and ladies collected unofficial titles rather than official ones, such as the exalted patron of Tassa's Clay, or uncle to the champion of Tremay. Just like medieval France, they abolished the class system, but they didn't care. It is a headache to remember such titles, and one winces to think of the poor doorman at the balls who must rattle them off as each guest enters the room. No joke, in the third Dragon Age game we actually get to see this. We actually get to see this in game. So get ready for, I don't know, but lucky for you that won't be for a while yet, because many reasons, not just busy reasons, but actual reasons for the order I want to play these games. We might not get to Dragon Age 3, the third Dragon Age game till near Christmas time at least this year. The aristocracy is different from Ferelden in other ways as well. The Orlesians' right to rule stems directly from the sandwich maker. There exists neither the concept of rule by merit nor the slightest notion of rebellion. If one is not noble, one aspires to be, or at the least aspires to be in the good graces of a noble, and is either watching for a way to enter the patronage of those better placed in the grand game. So it is about the game and how you play it. And then there are the masks and the cosmetics. I've not seen so much paint since the kennel in the kennels at High Ever. But that is another story. So yeah, Ole exists. Sadly, it exists, yes. Sadly, Ole exists. You caught me off guard there, that was good. Sadly, Ole exists. You really are for Eldon. No. To be honest, every medieval nation was a bit of a comeback. France especially. You know what? Before we go do the final little bit, let's talk to Riordan some more. Find out about this guy, shall we? We didn't get to talk to him much last time.
Good luck to you in the Landsmeet. Good luck to you in the Landsmeet.
Fascinating conversation. Oh, there's a codex entry about... Sorry to pause this a little bit more, but there's a codex entry about Alistair's dad, and I think that might be relevant. This is going to be relevant for what we're going into. It is difficult to separate the man from the myth. The last survivor of the bloodline of King Calenhad, the Silver Knight. Maric drove the Orlesian forces from Ferelden borders, reclaiming the throne and freed our people from foreign tyranny. All true and all larger than life. He was born in hiding near Caffel's Crossing to the rebel queen Moira, and grew up in the rebel camps. An outlaw in his own country. When the rebel queen died, Maric inherited her homeless nobles, malcontents, and displaced freeholders, and with the aid of his friend Loghain MacTyr, the main villain in this game, built them into an army. After the pivotal Battle of Riverdane, Maric took the throne. He married Rowan, daughter of Rendon Gwerin, Earl of Redcliffe, and began the long, slow process of rebuilding everything Orlais had demolished during the 70 years of occupation. So basically, Alice's dad married Eamon's sister, pretty much, and that's why. And you know what? Even though I don't normally read about characters, I think it is important to read about Loghain. So where is his... I think it's important for what we're going into to read about the man, since he is pretty much the pivotal character in this game, in my opinion. Understand this: I will brook no threat to this nation from you or anyone. He said that at the beginning. He said that in the very. If you remember, he said that at the end of the very first stream we did. Loghain was born a farmer during a time where his country was under foreign occupation. When he was still a boy, he joined the Resistance, where his considerable tactical genius quickly became apparent. He became close friends with Prince Marek. The last true heir to the Ferelden throne, and together they led the rebels to drive out the forces of the Elysian Empire. Marek raised his friend to the nobility, and Loghain is now more of a symbol than a man. He represents the Ferelden ideals of hard work and independence. During the Battle of Ossugar, he fled the field, leaving King Kaelan and the Grey Wardens to die. He then returned to Denerim and declared himself the regent to his daughter, Queen Honora, demanding that Ferelden follow him against the Darkspawn, upsetting a great many of the bands. His actions sparked a civil war. Loghain's supporters found themselves fighting their neighbours who blamed Loghain for the death of the king, as well as those who simply wished to take advantage of the power vacuum. So, as much as we may hate Loghain for what he did to Duncan, the Grey Wardens, and to poor King Puppy, you understand at least that he was trying to do what he thought was right. Basically, Loghain did this. He didn't want the civil war that is basically sparked at this point. He never wanted the civil war, and that's what we got. Alistair has to come with us because it's important that he comes with us. And honestly, I'm gonna bring muscle to this confrontation. I'm gonna bring a lot of muscle.
Yes.
So Sten's coming with us, and Ogren's coming with us. I want to bring my strongest people alongside Loghain, who'll probably bring his strongest people. It makes the most sense. I know I haven't sorted out my infantry at all, but at the same time, I don't really have the time to sort out my infantry. There's going to be time to sort out my infantry before the battle anyway, so I'll do it later. Right now, it's kind of important that we deal with Loghain once and for all. We've done everything we can to get as many of the... We've got all the evidence we can get against Loghain. We've got every single band we can get to fight on our cause. We've even got the Queen on our side. So I think it's time for us to deal with this once and for all.
Warden, I am not surprised it has come to this. And Alistair, if you were even remotely worthy of being called Marek's son, you would already be in the Landsmeet, now wouldn't you? You have torn this nation apart to oppose my lord, and never once tried to understand why he is a hero to Ferelden. But do not think you will get past me to desecrate the Landsmeet itself. The nobles of Ferelden will confirm my lord as regent, and we can finally put this to rest once you are gone.
Do you really not see what Loghain has become? He may be the hero of Ferelden. That much is true. But do you not see what he has become since Ostagar?
I have had so many doubts of late. Loghain is a great man, but his hatred of Orlais has driven him to madness.
Exactly.
He has done terrible things. I know it. But I owe him everything. I cannot betray him. Do not ask me to.
I'm not asking you to betray him. I'm asking you to let me stop him. To save him from what he is turning from, to save him. And to show him mercy and to stop him from ruining Ferelden even more than he already has.
I never thought duty would taste so bitter. Stop him, Warden. Stop him from betraying everything he once loved. Please, show mercy. Without Loghain, there would be no Ferelden to defend.
Maybe killing him is the mercy that he deserves. Making him live to see what he's done to the country would be the worst punishment than killing.
My lords and ladies of the Landsmeet, Tyrn Loghain would have us give up our freedoms, our traditions, out of fear. He placed us on this path, yet we should place our destiny in his hands? Must we sacrifice everything good about our nation to save it?
A fine performance, Aemon. But no one here is taken in by it. You would attempt to put a puppet on the throne, and every soul here knows it. The better question is who will pull the strings.
Ah! Here we have the puppeteer.
Tell us, Warden, how will the Orlesians take our nation from us? Will they deign to send their troops, or simply issue their commands through this would-be prince? Where is the famous steadfastness of the dwarves? How much did it cost the Empress to buy your loyalty?
The Blight is the real threat here, not Orlais.
There are enough refugees in Mybanor now to make that abundantly clear.
The South is fallen, Loghain. Will you let Darkspawn take the whole country for fear of Orlais?
The Blight is indeed real, Wolf. But do we need Grey Wardens to fight it?
Yes.
They claim that they alone can end the Blight.
Yes.
Yet they failed spectacularly against the Darkspawn at Ostagar. And they asked to bring with them 4 legions of Chevaliers. And once we open our borders to the Chevaliers, can we really expect them to simply return from whence they came?
Does that explain how you allowed Ren and How to imprison and torture innocent nobles?
The Warden speaks truly! My son was taken under cover of night! The things done to him! Some of them are beyond any healer's skill!
How was responsible for himself. He will answer to the Maker for any wrongs committed in this life, as must we all. But you know that. You were the one who murdered him. Whatever Howe may have done, he should have been brought before the Seneschal. There is no justice in butchering a man in his home.
Is it justice to sell elves to the Tevinter Imperium into slavery?
Selling elves? Explain this, Loghain.
This is war. Did you believe it would be like the old tales? Knights with pennants flying over battlefields where all outcomes are decided simply and with honor. War is cruel. Every soul who fought alongside Marek knows this. And in it, there are no such things as innocence, only the living and the dead, and the degrees of guilt both bear. Sacrifices were made. If they were too great, the Maker will judge me for it. But enough of this. I have a question for you, Warden. What have you done with my daughter?
We're discussing your crimes here.
You took my daughter, our queen, by force, killing her guards in the process. What arts have you employed to keep her? Does she even still live?
I believe I can speak for myself.
Yes, she can.
Lords and ladies of Ferelden, hear me. My father is no longer the man you know. This man is not the hero of Riverdane. This man turned his troops aside and refused to protect your king as he fought bravely against the Darkspawn. This man seized Kaelin's throne before his body was cold and locked me away so I could not reveal his treachery. I would have already been killed, if not for this Grey Warden.
The Queen speaks the truth.
So, the Warden's influence has poisoned even your mind, Enora. I wanted to protect you from this. My lords and ladies! Our land has been threatened before! It's been invaded and lost and won times beyond counting. We Fereldans have proven that we will never truly be conquered so long as we are united. We must not let ourselves be divided now. Stand with me, and we shall defeat even the Blight itself!
The Warden! I'm with the Warden. Southreach stands with the Grey Wardens.
Waking Sea stands with the Grey Warden.
Dragon's Peak supports the Warden!
The Western Hills throw their lot in with the Wardens. Make her help us.
I stand by Loghain. We've no hope of victory otherwise.
I stand with the Warden. The Blight is coming. We need the Grey Wardens.
I count that as 6, we include the Queen. 7 votes to 1, Loghain. The Landsmeet is against you. Stand down.
Traitors! Which of you stood against the Orlesian Emperor when his troops flattened your fields and raped your wives? You fought with us once, Eamon. You cared about this land once, before you got too old and fat and content to even see what you risk. None of you deserve a say in what happens here. None of you have spilled blood for this land the way I have. How dare you judge me?
Call off your men, Loghain, and settle this honorably.
Then, let us end this. I suppose we both knew it would come to this. When we first met at Ostagar, I would never have thought so, but Ostagar seems like it happened in another lifetime to someone else. A man is made by the quality of his enemies. Marek told me that once. I wonder if it's more a compliment to you or me. Enough! Let the Landsmeet declare the terms of the duel.
It shall be fought according to tradition. A test of arms, in single combat until one party yields. And we, who are assembled, will abide by the outcome.
Will you face me yourself, or have you a champion?
I will fight this duel myself, Loghain. Prepare yourself.
It is you or me the men will follow. So, let us fight for it. Prepare yourself.
Let me get to a position where you can see the fight, Loghain.
I underestimated you, Warden. I thought you were like Kaelin, a child wanting to play at war. I was wrong. There's a strength in you that I have not seen anywhere since Marek died. I yield.
I accept your surrender.
I didn't just hear you say that. You're going to let him live? After everything he's done? Kill him already!
Wait, there is another option. The Tairn is a warrior and general of renown. Let him be of use. Let him go through the joining.
You want to make him a warden? Why?
There are 3 of us in all of Ferelden, and there are compelling reasons to have as many wardens on hand as possible to deal with the Archdemon.
The joining itself is often fatal, is it not? If he survives, you gain a general. If not, you have your revenge. Doesn't that satisfy you?
Absolutely not! Riordan, this man abandoned our brothers and then blamed us for the deed. He hunted us down like animals. He tortured you! How can we simply forget that?
Technically, how tortured Riordan, not Logain. But despite this, I'll leave this choice to you, actually. There is consequences if there is consequences to this choice, so... So you believe that he should do the joining? Okay then. Like I said, this first playthrough I'm letting you make the key decisions, so I'm going with it.
Joining the Wardens is an honor, not a punishment. Name him a Warden and you cheapen us all. I will not stand next to him as a brother. I won't!
We need all the help. We need all the help we can get, Alistair.
Logain is a traitor. We need him like we need to be stabbed in the back. Or have you forgotten how his being a great general didn't help the last time? I didn't want to be king. I still don't. But if that's what it takes to see Logain get justice, then I'll do it. I'll take the crown.
Listen to this. Can you see how disastrous a king he'd be? Putting his own selfish desires above the needs of his country? You can't seriously support him.
I thought the 2 of you were going to marry.
And I thought the whole idea was to bring Logain to justice. Funny how plans change, isn't it?
You'd throw away a very fortunate alliance for petty revenge? Perhaps Ferelden is better off without you, Alistair.
No, you didn't. You still have a there is still a choice. But I can't agree. I mean, as much as I agree with Honora here, I also feel for Alistair at the same time. Because Logain did betray us. Logain did do all this stuff. So now we have another tough choice to make. We can't do what we planned to marry them to because Alistair is letting his revenge get in the way of it. So what's the choice? Because on the one hand, you've got Alistair, who is far more trustworthy, but at the same time, he is letting his own wants get in the way of what's best for the country. On the other hand, you've got Honora. She does want what's best for the country, but at the same time, I wouldn't trust her as far as I can throw her. So, Alistair? We'll go with Alistair then.
You can't do this. My father may have been wrong, but he is still a hero to the people.
Honora. Hush. It's over.
Stop treating me like a child. This is serious.
Daughters never grow up, Honora. They remain 6 years old with pigtails and skinned knees forever.
Father.
Just make it quick, Warden. I can face the Maker knowing that Ferelden is in your hands.
Even though we're choosing Alistair for the kingship, I'm not letting Alistair do the final death blow. Because Alistair is showing his malice. He is showing... Well, Alistair will strike him down for vengeance. I'm striking Loghain down out of pity. Yeah, Loghain deserves to die for what he's done. He doesn't deserve to suffer like Brendan Howe deserved to suffer. So, very well. I tried, Honora. I really did. I'm sorry. We have to have a hard shit, Loghain.
So it is decided. Alistair will take his father's throne.
I have a recurring nightmare that sounds just like this. All right. Yes. I guess it's decided then.
Honora, the Landsmeet has decided against you. You must now swear fealty to our king and relinquish all claim to the throne for yourself and your heirs.
If you think I will swear that oath, Eamon, you know nothing of me.
Be reasonable, Honora. Please.
Reason clearly had nothing to do with your choice, Warden.
We cannot leave Ferelden in a state of civil war. We must have unity. If she will not swear fealty to you, Alistair, and renounce her claim to the throne, she is a threat to us all.
If anyone should be blamed
What
for
do you
this,
want me
it's
to do
Alistair,
exactly?
not-
Kill her?
Not the player
I
character.
can't do that. I guess... Put her in the tower for now. Lock her up. Maybe we can find somewhere to send her. Later.
Thank you, Alistair. You show me mercy that I would not have shown you.
Clearly.
Very well, then. Guards, take her away.
Why are you spiteful at me, Honora? Like I said, I
Your Highness,
I tried everything.
would you
I could
address
to
the Landsmeet?
get a better, good solution.
That would be me, right? I never knew him, but from all I've heard of my father, what defined him was his commitment to protecting this land.
Tell them what to do, Alistair.
Everyone, get ready to march! It's going to take all of Ferelden's strength to survive this blight. but we will face it, and we'll defeat it! We'd better get going. Ferelden is depending on us.
That's why I like that side quest, because there's so much nuance. There are so many ways that can end up. It is unreal.
You made me king. After all this is over with, they're actually going to put me on the throne. I'm going to be the king.
Congratulations.
Congratulations? Congratulations? Why would you do this to me? How could you? I've done nothing but regret my blood since the day I was born. I don't want this. I never wanted this. I hate the very idea of it. I thought we were friends. You knew how I felt about this, yet you went ahead and did it anyway. Why?
Would you prefer I'd have given it to Honora?
Yes. Well, no. She would have executed me, so that would have been bad. I've just never thought of myself as a leader. I'm going to make a terrible king, you have to know that. How can I make decisions that are going to affect the lives of everyone in the kingdom? I guess I don't really have a choice in this now, do I? I'll do my best, of course, and I expect that you'll be there to help me, right?
I wouldn't have it any other way. Not only will you have my help, you'll also have Al Eamon's help and Van Tegan's help. You'll have all the help you'll need.
Good. Then it's settled. Al Eamon has left for Redcliffe. He says the army has gathered there and is almost ready to march. As soon as we're ready, we should head to Redcliffe ourselves. The Blight awaits, right?
It does. Yeah, we lost a bit of influence with Alistair, but honestly, what other choice did we have? I love the nuance of of that quest because, no joke, there are so many ways you can go down it. You can put Honora on the throne. You can put Honora on the throne, and thus Alistair is executed, like he said. You can put Honora on the throne, stay her hand, and Alistair stays as the Grey Warden. You can put Honora on the throne, make Loghain a Warden, and Alistair runs off to be a drunk. You can put Alistair on the throne and execute Loghain. Like, that's what we ended up having to do. You can put Alistair on the... It's impossible to put Alistair on the throne and have Loghain survive, so it's that. Or, you've got two other options where you can execute Loghain and have Alistair and Honora marry, or you can have Alistair and Honora marry, Alistair leaves the party, and Loghain becomes a Grey Warden. There is so many ways that quest. To change controllers, it is so epic. Add a bit more constitution. Renovate. Case, we should head off to the next destination. The party I choose here. There's one big important decision to do left in the game, and I'm going to leave you to it. But it is honestly a tough decision. But for better or worse, depending on the decision made, this is going to be my final party for the rest of the game.
Yes.
Alistair,
Indeed.
Liliana, and Morrigan.
Indeed.
Ideally, this would be my final party, but that could change. So, honest opinion, while we travel to the next area, what do you think of the outcome we got? It's the best outcome we could have got in the situation.
Will you stop eating?
I'm hungry.
Stuff your face at camp. For now, watch the bloody road.
Trap right ahead.
Not going over that. Not going that way, Liliana.
Trap right ahead.
Not going that way, Liliana.
Trap right ahead.
Not going that way, Liliana. I mean, like I said, it is possible to have both Honora and Alistair on the throne and have Loghain survive to be awarded. That, in your mind, would be the best outcome. But you have to do it very carefully. I've done it. I have managed it before, but you have to be very careful about how you work with everything.
It's you! The Grey Warden!
Yes.
Andraste's mercy that you got here when you did. I thought for sure these monsters were going to get me. They all fled to the castle this morning, before the Darkspawn arrived. I thought I could make it to my home and back before they got here, but it took me too long to get down here. What a relief you arrived.
I take it you recognize the voice actor for this random NPC. You should get to safety.
I'm going to get out of here before any more of those things arrive. Thank you again.
Anyway, while we're doing this fight sequence to save Redcliffe, I've got one big important question to ask you that we can discuss once the game is finished, but also now is a good chance to talk about it as well. Loghain. Now that we've actually finished this arc, what do you think? Not only is the villain, but in my opinion, I'll say it right now, in my opinion, Loghain is one of the better characters in the game. And speaking honestly, if it wasn't for a particular antagonist in the Mass Effect series, Loghain would be my favourite video game villain of all time if it wasn't one of the characters in the Mass Effect. I'll let you how high does Loghain rate I get it. there probably are examples of that kind of villain done that's more compelling, like you said. I would still hold Logain as one of the better examples of that trope being done correctly.
I'm sensing more darkspawn. Well, all right.
Game over.
How dare
You get a seppuku, you get a seppuku, you get a seppuku, and Morrigan's dead. Long range seppuku for the win.
Alright, battle it is.
Oh shit. Yeah, Morrigan's up. That's good.
Yes?
Take yourself an injury kit.
So be it.
And let's fight this fat bastard. I think we got it.
My lady, you're here. Thank goodness.
What happened?
I don't rightly know. Riordan of the Grey Wardens arrived this morning, just ahead of the Darkspawn.
What
I was
Grey
told
Wardens?
he has
There's
urgent
only 3 of
news and
us.
to send out patrols to watch for your arrival. Then we were attacked.
Take me inside. There must be no delays.
I should take you to the hall right away, my lady. They'll be waiting for you there.
Milady. Why didn't you tip your fedora at me?
It's a relief to see you unharmed. And you as well, Alistair. Or should I say your majesty?
No, I wouldn't say that. Not yet, anyway.
The Darkspawn that attacked Redcliffe were relatively few in number, I'm afraid. It was assumed the Horde was marching in this direction, but that is not true.
Riordan tells us that the bulk of the Horde is in fact heading towards Denerim. They are perhaps 2 days away from the capital.
What? Are we sure about that? I mean, if that's true.
I ventured close enough to listen in, as it were. I am quite certain.
Has word been sent to Denerim?
Word has been sent, but they need more than warning. They need our armies.
There is, I'm afraid, one other piece of news that is of even greater concern. The Archdemon has shown itself. The dragon is at the head of the Horde.
Shit.
Make her preserve us.
But we can't reach Denerim within 2 days, can we? It's too far.
We must begin a forced march to the capital immediately with what we have. Denerim must be defended at all costs.
Is it even possible to reach the city in time, even with a forced march?
Perhaps not. But what is important is that we know where the Archdemon will be. If we do not defeat the Archdemon, it will not matter if Denerim is saved or the Horde defeated. And only the Grey Wardens can defeat the Archdemon. That is why we must go.
Then we march, and hope the army we've collected here gives us the chance we need. Al-Eamon, how long before the army can set out?
By daybreak.
Then let's get them ready. I won't let all those people die without giving them a chance.
And just how are we supposed to defeat the Archdemon?
I was wondering that myself.
Then you don't know. Of course not. You're both new recruits Duncan wouldn't have expected.
I will give the orders at once, and will notify you the moment we are ready to march.
That would be appreciated.
Perhaps you and Alistair should meet me before you retire for the evening. There are things we need to speak of.
I will have someone show you to your rooms. I suggest you all get some rest while you can. We will need it.
Shit's about to get real. Is anyone in the chat at the moment? While I go do around. Our dwarven contingent is here.
And what word have we from Orzammar? Has House Claret sent their men or haven't they?
They're stalling, which is as good as a no. House Claret's feud with House Romald has flared up again since their son died in that Deep Roads business. So naturally they're pleading the need for self-defense.
Fine time to start with that nonsense again. I've half a mind.
I forgot to say anything to Phil.
Evening to you, Grey Warden.
Ah, well.
I didn't realize you were still up and about.
Is there a problem with our dwarven forces?
Nothing that can be dealt with now, I'm afraid. Just one of the houses being thicker than the stone that made them.
Once all of this blight business is done, there will be a reckoning in the assembly. Probably half open will all wind up dead. That way they'll have one of the strongest forces left in Orzammar. Enough to face the Darkspawn all on their own, I suppose? That's exactly the kind of half-arsed thinking that got us into the mess after Endrin passed. It was our good fortune that you decided to return home when you did, Grey Warden. For all that you needed our help, I expect we needed yours more.
Carry on, then.
Right. Off to camp with both of you, and keep the drunkenness to a minimum. We have a long way to go yet. Pleasant evening to you, Grey Warden, and good fortune on the field of battle.
Here's all our people.
Enchantment?
Yes.
Enchantment!
Yes. Enchantment.
Ah, fancy meeting you here.
And you,
I heard rumours that Redcliffe was once again open for business, but my word, isn't this amazing? Such bustle. The Arl has kindly offered my son and I lodgings in exchange for supplies. I'm happy to help him. And you too, of course. If you have need of my wares, you have but to ask.
I need to give you some shit.
I'm sure you'll be pleased.
Like I said, we'll sort out our inventory now. Shit, I forgot to... I didn't mean to sell those. Oh, it's only one arrow. Whatever. I'm gonna buy all your arrows. We've got the money to do it, so yeah. Let's buy all the stuff we need for the coming battle. How's this compared to what? This is better than what Morrigan has. Way better. I'm gonna take that. Got anything here that's of use? Not really. Sell all of these. I'll buy all your potions. I'll take that as well. Don't need these straight scales anymore, so I'll sell them. Leliana, I want you to equip some ice arrows. Morrigan, I'm giving you a way better staff.
You and your friends are formidable foe. I'm sure.
Should we go around one more time with everyone and see if they've got anything to say?
I am listening. It doesn't have better things to do. On then.
Looks like pretty much no one's got anything to say, really. Let's double check, though.
What is your wish, Kadan?
Nope.
As you wish.
You have nothing to say. You have anything, Granny?
Have you heard much about the Grey Wardens of old?
No. All I know is that... What is there to hear?
It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffins was enough to rouse a weary heart and put the dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people. I remember a tale that was told to me many years ago.
Go on.
The Blight had ravaged the land for months, and the armies of the great kings had amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky above, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of darkspawn, with the archdemon at its head. And it was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came.
We know, don't
They
settle
arrived
this.
with the beating of wings like mighty war drums, and stood before the armies of men.
And what happened then?
The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth, ever between the men and the encroaching darkspawn. They formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the archdemon was dead, and the last darkspawn lay trampled in the dirt. And then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for their sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds finally rolled back, and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, and none of their blood had been spilled.
Both sides always take losses, though.
This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the Darkspawn, taking losses so we do not have to. People may have forgotten over the centuries, but nothing has changed. This knowledge has been blessing and burden to Grey Wardens past, and now it shall be your blessing and your burden.
Stop trying to turn everything into a moral standpoint. I know full well what I'm giving up as a Grey Warden. You don't have to try and shove it down my throat.
Your wish?
Questions?
Whatever you'd like to ask.
Would you be okay telling me about this last mission?
Yes, I suppose it is time. You have been a good friend to me after all. There is no reason to be silent. There is a reason I accepted this mission in Ferelden, far away from home, and it had nothing to do with any thought that I might lead the Crows. Meeting you, after all, was quite an accident. My last mission before this one did not end well.
What happened?
You must realize that until that day I was cocky and arrogant. I was the best crow in Antiva, I believed, and I bragged of my conquests often, both as an assassin and lover.
You were more cocky and arrogant than this?
Indeed. I was often told I was insufferable, right before I ended up in bed with someone. Such is how it was. One of the Crow Masters grew tired of my boasting. My bid for an incredibly difficult mark was accepted, much to my surprise. A wealthy merchant with many guards and completely silent. Taliesin agreed to be part of my team, as well as an elven lass named Rina. She was a marvel. Tough, smooth, wicked. Eyes that gleamed like justice. Everything I thought I desired.
You fell in love with her, I take it.
Rina was special. I had closed off my heart, I thought. But she touched something within me. It frightened me. When Taliesin revealed to me that Rina had accepted a bribe from the merchant, told him of our plan, I readily agreed that she needed to pay the price and allowed Taliesin to kill her. Rina begged me not to. On her knees, with tears in her eyes, she told me that she loved me and had not betrayed us. I laughed in her face and said that even if it were true, I didn't care.
But that wasn't true.
I convinced myself it was. Taliesin cut her throat, and I watched her bleed as she stared up at me. I spat on her for betraying the Crows. When Taliesin and I finally assassinated the merchant, we found the true source of his information. Rina had not betrayed us after all.
Sorry.
I wanted to tell the crows what we had done, our mistake. Taliesin convinced me not to. He said it would be a foolish waste. So we reported that Rina had died in the attempt. We needn't have bothered. The crows knew what we had done. The master who disliked me told me so to my face. He said the crows knew, and they didn't care. And one day, my turn would come.
And you felt guilty.
I felt empty. I felt as if I was nothing. I felt as if she had been nothing. You once asked why I wanted to leave the crows. In truth, what I wanted was to die. What better way than to throw myself at one of the fabled Grey Wardens? And then, this happened. And here I am.
Is there something you still want?
No. What I want is to begin again. Whatever it is I sought by leaving Antiva, I think I have found it. I owe you a great deal.
You owe me nothing, Severin.
Let us return to your mission, shall we? Suddenly, I do not feel like standing about.
I can fully understand that.
I still got it.
Are you sure that was a success?
Weren't you watching? She could barely restrain herself. Might as well rest up while I can. You ready to go?
Tell me more about you, Ogren. Other than talking about a side quest that we did last week.
What about?
Nah.
Alright. Aye. Alright then.
Leliana?
You've seen and touched Andraste's ashes.
Last session.
They are the holiest thing on this earth. The remains of the Maker's chosen.
Yeah, it tasted of ham. Weird. Tasted like burnt ham. It was quite remarkable.
I do not know if I am worthy to look upon her.
She fought for everyone. She belongs to us all. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Yes, of course, but it still is something to be in awe of.
That's all you got to say to me? Good. Blah, blah, blah. Blah. I'm going to do my impression of a vampire until you shut up. Blah. Blah, blah. 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 Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah. Ah.
Do you realize that you've been smiling for hours now?
Have I?
Since the last time you and that girl shot glances at each other, in fact.
What?
I cannot imagine what you begin to see in her. I hope at least the dalliance is worthwhile.
Jealous?
Why, yes, that must be it. Green with envy, am I? 'Tis a bit sickening to watch you two, but I imagine it at least takes your mind from our situation. Have it your way.
Very misleading.
There you are. Let's go see what Riordan has to say.
I didn't romance Leliana at all.
You're both here. Good. Please know I assumed you had already been told. Otherwise, I would have told you this when you freed me in Denerim. I'm sorry.
What is it? What are you apologizing for?
Tell me, have you ever wondered why the Grey Wardens are needed to defeat the Darkspawn?
I assume it had something to do with the Tate inside us all.
That is exactly what it involves. The Archdemon may be slain, as any other Darkspawn, But should any other than a Grey Warden do the slaying, it will not be enough. The essence of the beast will pass through the taint to the nearest Darkspawn and will be reborn anew in that body. The dragon is thus all but immortal. But if the Archdemon is slain by a Grey Warden, its essence travels into the Grey Warden instead.
Doesn't sound very healthy.
The Darkspawn is an empty, soulless vessel, but a Grey Warden is not. The essence of the Archdemon is destroyed, and so is the Grey Warden.
Meaning the Grey Warden who kills the Archdemon dies?
Yes. Without the Archdemon, the Blight ends. It is the only way.
So then it's up to the three of us to kill the thing.
In Blight's past, when the time came, the eldest of the Grey Wardens would decide which amongst them would take that final blow. If possible, the final blow should be mine to make. I am the eldest, and the taint will not spare me much longer. But if I fail, the deed falls on you. The Blight must be stopped now, or it will destroy all of Ferelden before the rest of the Grey Wardens can assemble. Remember that. But enough. There will be much to do tomorrow, and little enough time to rest before it. I will let you return to your rooms.
I will see you once the army is ready to march, then. I guess this ends soon. One way or another.
That it does, my friend. That it does.
Hashtag Dark Fantasy. Here it is. This is the decision. This is the final time you'll have to make a decision.
Do not be alarmed. It is only I.
We know you've been here for a while, Morrigan. Is there anything alright?
I am well. 'Tis you who are in danger. I have a plan, you see. A way out. The loop in your hole.
Ow, that sounds painful. Get it out of my hole.
I know what happens when the Archdemon dies. I know a Grey Warden must be sacrificed, and that sacrifice could be you. I have come to tell you that this does not need to be.
What do you mean this does not have to be?
I offer a way out. A way out for all the Grey Wardens, that there need be no sacrifice. A ritual. Performed on the eve of battle, in the dark of night.
Nothing comes without a price.
Perhaps, but that price need not be so unbearable, especially if there is much to be gained. All I ask is that you listen to what I have to offer, nothing more.
Very well. You've earned my trust.
What I propose is this. Convince Alistair to lay with me, here tonight. And from this ritual, a child shall be conceived within me. The child will bear the taint, and when the Archdemon is slain, its essence will seek the child like a beacon. At this early stage, the child can absorb that essence and not perish. The Archdemon is still destroyed with no Grey Warden dying in the process.
Why aren't you talking to Alistair? Why are you talking to me about this and not Alistair?
Alistair despises me. You know this. He rarely listens to reason, but he would listen to you. You, of all people, could influence him. Think about what I offer you. The chance to avoid death. Or better yet, the chance to slay the Archdemon and live as a hero. No Grey Warden has ever done this. In return, I conceive a child. One who will be born with the soul of an old god. After this is done, you allow me to walk away. And you do not follow. Ever. The child will be mine to raise as I wish.
Well, why don't we find out more about this child?
As you wish.
What do you intend to do with it?
I do not wish to tell you.
It won't be hurt with it.
Ignoring that after but one night it could barely be called a child, no, it will not be hurt. It will be changed.
What will it become?
Allow me to say that what I seek is the essence of the old god that once was, and not the dark forces that corrupted it. Some things are worth preserving in this world. Make of that what you will.
So she doesn't want the Darkspawn taint itself. She wants the essence of the old god, of the Tevinter old god.
I have no doubt he may, but he will not. It is all I ask for in return. Then you have decided?
How do you know this will even work?
This is what my mother intended when she sent me with you. She was the one who first gave me this ritual and told me of what I was meant to do. This does not surprise you, does it? Did you not wonder why Flemeth saved your life? Why she aided you? This is why. What is important is that I am offering this to you now. It will work, and it will save your life.
I know. And if you think about it, this is why I said to you, killing Flemeth doesn't matter, because Morrigan goes through with what Flemeth planned anyway. I won't say anything on top of that. I have a reason not to say anything on top of that. There is another... All I'll say is there is another reason why I said killing Flemeth won't matter in the end. But here's the question. I think we should at least talk to Alistair first. I'll say... you actually think Alistair will agree to this? I'll ask this because this may lead to us saying, I can't decide that for him, but I'll talk to Alistair.
You will advise him to do so, and because he trusts you more than he would ever trust me, he will comply. Consider the alternative. If Riordan fails, do you think Alistair will hesitate? The future king of Ferelden? He will die the hero, and you will be overshadowed. Just a Grey Warden who accompanied the king.
What's that got to do with anything?
If you would rather, consider Leliana. What do you think she would advise if she knew the life of her beloved was at risk? I think you know. I think you have many good reasons to tell him to save his own life. I think you should consider them carefully.
Honestly, I don't give a fuck about Leliana in that way. She's a friend, but I wouldn't think of it that way. This game is forcing down my throat that I'm romancing Leliana, but I'm not. But we're gonna ignore that fact. We're also gonna. There's only two facts that we need to consider here. Morrigan is trying to play to our ego, which I don't think will work with how we built it. But the more important aspect, where I'm thinking, you know what, she does have a point here. The more important aspect is Alistair. If we don't go through with her plan, and Alistair decides to take it upon himself without consulting us to kill the Archdemon, That could be bad. That could be bad. Alright. I agree. I'll go talk to Alistair.
A wise decision. I shall wait here then while you go and speak with Alistair. I urge you to be convincing.
And like I said, we're not doing this for ourselves. We're doing this for Alistair. Because... Yes, if you're a male character, she will ask you to sleep with her, but you also have the option as a male to ask to get Alistair to do it instead. Also, I'll also have this to say. If you spare Loghain, Alistair leaves the party, Loghain will join your party in his place. Thus, when Morrigan brings this up, Loghain is also another option to sleep with her for this. Alistair or Loghain or male warden. But I will tell you this. This is extremely... I will say... Let me just finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying first before we go into what you say. There is one thing. All I'll say is this choice has extreme consequences. Because, like the last decision in the Landsmeet, you could lose a party member if you choose the wrong option. If you say to Morrigan, no, I won't go through with this, Morrigan just up and leaves. I know. And as I said, there's only two ways to keep Loghain and Alistair both alive. And that is either Alistair becomes the drunk, or Alistair becomes the king. So yeah, as much as I hate killing Loghain at the end, it is the better outcome of the two of them dying. Because Loghain is by far the better leader, but he's not nearly as trustworthy. Anyway, back to what we're doing here. We should go talk to Alistair.
I see you can't sleep either. I also saw Morrigan outside your room earlier, and the look she gave me. Ooh, that was icy even for her. Something up?
We need to talk.
Oh. I guess whatever Morrigan had to say, it's big. This is what I get for becoming king. Everyone always brings you the bad news. So what is it then? Rats running amok? Cheese supplies run low? I can take it.
We're friends, right?
Friends? I owe you everything. Even if you did go and make me king. Why? Why so ominous?
What if there is a way... What if I told you there was a way to avoid our fate as a Grey Warden?
You mean with the Archdemon, right? If you mean running away, I can't do that, but you don't mean that, do you? What is this about?
I need you to spend the night with Morrigan as part of a ritual.
Cute. This is payback, right, for all the jokes? But you're not joking. You're actually serious? Wow. Be killed by the Archdemon or sleep with Morrigan. How does someone make that kind of choice? You're not actually asking me this, are you? What kind of ritual is this, anyway?
going to lie to you. It will produce a child.
What? I must be hearing things, but are you telling me to impregnate Morrigan in some kind of magical sex rite? This child. Why would Morrigan want such a thing? Does she want an heir to the throne?
You could ask her yourself.
Now, there's a conversation I'm looking forward to. Look, even if I was willing to do this, and I'm not saying I am, do you really think this is a good idea? You're my friend, but we're talking about Morrigan.
You need to trust me on this, Alistair. I have trusted you every step of the way thus far. I'm asking you this one last time to trust me.
Trust you? Very well. I do trust you. Oh, where is she? Let's go and get this over with before I change my mind.
Twould seem your talk is done.
Great. This isn't a dream after all.
What is it to be, then? Has a decision been reached?
He's agreed to your request.
Wait. I want to ask about this child. The one you want.
Interesting. Honesty wouldn't have been my first choice.
I just want to be sure that you're not going to use this against Ferelden. That this bastard child of mine isn't going to show up some year.
Of that, you have my word.
Oh, why don't I feel any better about this? All right. Let's just get this over with.
I'm sorry, Alistair.
Let us go somewhere more private, Alistair, and believe me when I say you will not hate this quite so much as you believe.
I'll have the alcohol ready in the back, Alistair. Yeah. It can. It can dictate you the email character, yeah.
We have gathered all the forces we can.
I can't tell you about
The Darkspawn Horde is sure to reach the capital before us. And so we must race to Denerim as quickly
No,
as we
I'm
can.
not telling you because I don't want to spoil it. I'm not telling you because
The lives of many thousands hang in the balance. We must not forsake them. You have gathered an army to replace the one lost at Ostagar, Grey Warden.
Okay, this cutscene.
Let us pray
The amount of men.
that it will be
We
enough.
have a bigger army than we do at Ostagar just by ourselves. And that army in Ostagar was led by a freaking king and the head of the Grey Wardens. We made a bigger one. Think about that.
Before us stands the might of the Darkspawn Horde. Gaze upon them now, but fear them not. The woman you see beside me is a dwarf, raised to the ranks of the Grey Wardens. This is not her home, and yet still she fights with honor and passion. She has survived despite the odds, and without her, none of us would be here. Today, we save Denerim. Today, we avenge the death of my brother, King Kaelan. But most of all, today, we show the Grey Wardens that we remember and honor their sacrifice. For Ferelden, for the Grey Wardens!
Now someone get my back out of fire! I'm burning up here! Someone pass me some water or something! Genlock Forge Master! My ancient foe.
We'll need to fight the entire flight ourselves.
I have turned. Are we also At least we haven't gone to the full-fledged BioWare sexy You have now experienced what a BioWare sexy is. It gets worse. This is one of the better examples. Let's have a look real quick and I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. Let's level up, shall we? It does have a no romance, yes, but it's very difficult to achieve. Trust me. Yeah, you would think. You would think. Yeah, that's my biggest problem with Bioware.
You've managed to fight your way to the gates. We're doing better than I hoped.
That will change quickly.
Bloody nug runners are outnumbered 3 to 1.
What are we to do now, Riordan? You have a plan, I assume?
Yes.
The army will not last long, so we need to move quickly to reach the Archdemon. I suggest taking Alistair and no more than 2 others with you into the city. Anyone you don't bring with you can remain here to prevent more Darkspawn from entering Denerim on our tails.
Also, can I prove? I'm gonna say to you, Max. I'm gonna say this to you properly. From the last 2 decisions we made at Landsmeet and with Morgan, do you now believe me that there are decisions in this game that are really difficult?
We're going to need to reach a high point in the city. I'm thinking the top of Fort Draken might work.
The top of... You want to draw the dragon's attention?
We have little choice, though I warn you that as soon as we engage the beast, it will call all its generals to help it. I can sense 2 generals in Denerim. You may wish to seek them out before going to Fort Draken.
I am sure that if we did slay those generals, it would stop the Darkspawn in the city from doing a lot of harm.
It may also waste resources trying to find them. The decision is up to you.
Do you know where these generals are? I mean, fine if we decide to find them. Because, yeah, basically, it's giving you a tactical decision here, which you can waste you can waste some of your reinforcements hunting down these Darkspawn generals, but the benefit of that is you're facing the Archdemon alone, and it can only summon grunts. If you go straight for the Archdemon, it can summon Darkspawn generals, which means the ads will be much tougher to deal with.
Neither of them are near Fort Draken currently, but there are too many
Yeah.
Darkspawn here to tell you more. There are already several units of our allies within the city by now. They may be able to come to your assistance if you call them, but their strength will be limited. Now, who do you wish to take with you into the city?
As I said, Alistair will have to come with me because it makes sense.
Yes.
And as I said earlier, Leliana's coming with me, and Morgan's coming with
Indeed.
Fair enough. Anyone else will need to remain here and assist in keeping more Darkspawn from coming in the gates behind us. Who will lead them?
Yeah. Anyway, Look, all I could... All I've got to say is to what Oz said, and he'll only hear my response, not your tirade. So, I honestly will tell you whatever the voice in my head Max Time said, and I don't remember all of it, so read this novel that has sentiments, blah blah blah, moving on. All I can say is, hate fucking exists, and that is a good example of it. Anyway, back to what we're doing right now. I think Sten would be suitable to lead our reinforcements.
Very likely. Good. That should be sufficient. Nothing you have done has prepared you for what you face now. May the Maker watch over you.
So this is it then. All that we've been through has led up to this. Whatever happens now, to either of us, know that I am proud, infinitely proud, to have called you friend. Farewell,
Bye, Granny.
and may the Maker watch over you.
Thank you for all the
So,
witness stories.
this is it.
This is it, Offred. What will you do when this is all over?
Well, I thought I might go back and see Felsi. Find out if there's anything still there. But first, I want to say something. I'll make it quick.
Okay.
You took in a drunken disgrace of an Orzammar warrior. You gave me a reason to fight, and the will to keep going. You helped me find the one woman in the sodding world who might put up with me. And you helped me get past Bronca so I could have someone new. I owe you a lot, Warden. I consider it a fine honor to die for you and your cause.
The order is mine, Offred.
Then it's sodding honor for everyone. That's war for you. Let the stone turn red from the blood of heroes. Today, I will be the warrior you taught me to be.
Good man.
So the Archdemon is next, is it?
Yep.
Part of me is glad that it has decided to leave me here at the gate, but the other part is apprehensive. I would almost say that I feel concern for something other than myself, even maybe for a soft, squishy companion. But that would be silly, wouldn't it?
I appreciate the thought, Shale.
And, do try not to get swallowed whole. If the beast were to fly about afterwards and poop it out, irony would dictate that it would land on me. I couldn't take it. Well then, I suppose this is it. Have fun storming the castle.
You too, Shale. Who's a good boy? Who's a good YouTuber?
Are you ready? We have reached the battlefield at last.
Thank you for all your help, Sten. I could have done this without you.
I have done nothing. You have carried us this far. Do not doubt that.
Heading off to slay dragons without me, Fine, fine. Say hello to the Archdemon for me. He never writes anymore. It's rather distressing. And do watch your back. No getting eaten, unless you think it's really important, of course.
So we head into the city together. As it should be. Once this is done, no matter how it turns out, I will be gone. You are aware of this, yes?
But let me thank you now for what you've done.
You are most welcome. It is, I think, the very least I could offer you. Allow me to say only one thing before we go. I knew nothing of friendship before we met. And I will always consider you such. Live well, my friend. Live gloriously. Now, let us see this finally done. The Archdemon awaits.
Before we head after the Archdemon, I want to say something. I know Morrigan's... what she did is supposed to save us, but who knows if she can be trusted? Or if we'll even survive long enough to take that final blow. So I just want you to know that it's been an honor fighting by your side.
I feel the same way, Alistair. You've been a brave friend, and any better.
Let's find this archdemon then, and kick its ass.
So this is it? This is the end? We've come so far. It's strange knowing that all our fates will be decided in a matter of hours. We stand on the precipice before the greatest battle of our age. I wonder if the heroes of old ever felt like this. I am not afraid. We go to fight for a good cause, and there is nowhere else I would rather be. You are my dearest friend and my love. You lit my path through darkness, and I will stand with you to whatever end. This day, we will forge a legend of our own.
You're a good friend too,
I hope most of the people were able to flee on ships before the horde got here.
Kill those godless bastards!
The epic war count.
We're counting on you, Warden!
I will make this less epic by pressing pause and leveling everyone up. Epically! The epic level up is upon us. That must be the epicness of the level up. Epicness. Epically leveling up. Epic. Let's continue now with our archery.
Make her watch over you!
Let's do this. Final battle. First, we will head to the market district because, yeah, it's a no-brainer. We're going after the generals first. And
Here they come. There's Darkspawn over
I
there.
want the men of Redcliffe to join me here. Let the men help me defend their home.
As you desire.
I took the wrong turn. Not a good thing to do in a battlefield situation. Shit, I took the wrong turn.
Even more darkspawn.
There goes the general. That's one down.
So I shall.
Liliana's down. Honestly, she may hate me for saying this, but in order for somebody to steal, Oregon's number one, she's not. Number two would be number three would be Alistair. All she would offer is like range DPS, which it's a good distraction for the enemies, but that's about it. It helps nickel and dime them a bit more, but honestly, aside from that, it doesn't really offer that much. She doesn't really offer as much as everyone else. Market district is cleared. Alienage next.
You! It's you! The Maker sure gave you the gift of good timing, didn't he? There's a large group of Darkspawn approaching and the gates won't hold. We need your help.
I need you to fight by my side.
Fight? But we have no armor and only simple weapons. We'll be slaughtered.
Protect your home and your family.
The stranger is right! We have to do something!
Yes, if we can hold them back, it'll give others a chance to escape. Tell us what to do, and we'll fight for as long as we can.
But stay back and defend your homes. I will take the more seasoned fighters to defend the gate.
You heard what the lady said. Come on.
They're upon us!
We need them to fight, but at the same time, they are more vulnerable troops, so I would say stay back in case the Darkspawn break through. I will take more seasoned fighters to the gates. And those more seasoned fighters will be elves. I'm bringing the dictatorship. There's the general already. battle. I've already lost 3 elves, 3 men of Redcliffe, which isn't too bad. Isn't too bad.
We did it! I didn't think it was possible. You've given us a chance to get to safety. We will never be able to thank you enough.
Why don't you join the Dalish ritual chant happening behind you?
Take this. I pray it helps you in your coming battles. We have to go. May the Maker watch over you.
May he provide you all the ham that you require when this battle is concluded. Right, that's 2 generals down. That's both generals down. All that remains is to break through and get to the Archdemon. Speaking of the Archdemon, there it is. Right, next up, the Royal Palace District. To break through to Fort Draken itself. But first we have a convenient cutscene to watch. We've got to deal with the people at the
Beware!
gates.
A large group of Darkspawn have broken away from the battle. They're charging this way. They'll be here any minute.
Charging enemies are not of the cure.
Darkspawn.
Die!
And thankfully, the team we've got here, we've got the best unit. We've got the best unit made us. We have Stead, we've got Shen.
So be it.
Fine.
I go.
How are you?
As you wish. So be it. Another vanquished.
Obviously, these are the only 4. These 4 are in our path. Doing this stuff here as well. Just can't control them. Everyone's here. Just can't control them. Party limit. Absolutely.
So be it.
Gonna take this pause in combat to level everyone up real quick.
As you wish.
Continue.
So be it. It shall be as you say.
Right. We're done. The gate is held.
Shall I send word that the gates are secured?
Yes, and word that my massive shiny shoulder is taking all the credit for it.
Right away.
Let's see what you've got. How does he do it? Okay. Crippled the Archdemon. He basically crippled the Archdemon so much as to give us somewhere to reach. Your sacrifice will not be in vain, Riordan. You died a heroic minor character. He was more heroic than most minor characters I've ever seen. And like I said, to get through to the gate, we're going to need the best. Wolves, to me! This is where the Darkspawn are going to be at the thickest. May as well bring in the Darkspawn experts. In this context of the final battle, Morrigan's even more important than I am. She's our healer. Liliana's down again. Oops. It's not very important. It doesn't really matter so much now. Yeah. Shit. The final boss is probably.
Cordule saves some dignity,
Leliana run off too. I can't get out of combat until I find her. She must have died somewhere way down here. Yeah. She's probably somewhere down here.
My word.
There she is.
Of course.
Yeah, there she is. What the hell? Stick with the team, Leliana. Stick with the team. You didn't properly romance me. I don't need to think. I never wanted to romance you, Leliana. I was trying to go for a romance less. Play for more health. Yeah. We lost a lot of dwarves in this fight, thanks to you, Leliana. A lot of dwarves. We started with 50 dwarves, right? We lost 14 dwarves because of Leliana running off and trying to be a hero. That is literally... That is nearly 5 times as many dwarves as Redcliffe or elves that we lost. The final selected mission, and we've got some powerful Darkspawn emissaries here, so I'm going to bring in the mages. Please, let's fight fire with fire, shall we? Especially since we've got dragons. Stay back from my mages. I have a heal, please?
I shall do it. Yes?
Roughly there. Thanks, Morrigan! Thank you, Morrigan! Thank you, Morrigan! This is what we get when party members don't do their jobs properly. At least Lelia...
Time for more diplomacy.
Too easy.
Which means I've got to do this all over again. The good thing about it is it wipes up, it wipes away the bit of Lelia but then again, Ori didn't leave she wipes the party and a bunch of my main forces. That's even worse. It's also about another 10 minutes to the stream. Morgan, do you see what happens? See Leliana, do you see what happens when you stick?
More foul darkspawn.
You get XP for disabling the trap. And, as you notice, it wasn't far fewer dwarfs. Last time we lost 14. This time it's higher. Back to much better. Much better. Make that 6 moves.
Well, alright.
Make that 8 moves. Well, we lost 6 fewer than last time. Now, this time I'm going to use the mages again. And this time Morrigan's going to do her job. Otherwise I'm going to have to do all this again.
More foul darkspawn.
Right. Mages. It summoned me. In fact, I know exactly what we do. Ignore the dragon, ignore that, beeline it to the mage. We lost about 3/4 of our mage forces, but we broke through. If you think about it, it is a shame though, because mages would be really helpful against the final boss. Of all the, in my opinion, of all the resources we've got left, the least useful would be the Men of Redcliffe. Then ironically the dwarves, because the dwarves, while tough and won't be able to deal with the ads, they'll be useless against the boss. The two most useful would be the Danish and the mages, because the mages would bombard it with raw power and just knock out any and do great AoE damage, whereas the archers that the Danish have will keep the archdemon distracted from what I'm doing. So those are the two I would plan to use in the final battle. I don't have many mages left. It's probably going to be a case of when you expend all my mages. Thankfully, I've got fast. Alistair, heal buddy.
Well, alright, of course.
Kill. And I'm shooting Morrigan and Lelion to repair all the ads they did. At this point, I'm just trying to get to the final boss as quickly as possible, so I'm trying to remember which one of these is in the tower.
Trap right ahead.
I am yours.
Get to the mage. Get to the mage now. Keep the mage. Alice, it's the right idea to keep the mage. I should probably edit Morrigan's tactics real quick. Because I've only got her to group heal whenever someone's down. But what if group heal isn't active? So, ally health. Used regularly. Put that on just in case I run out of group heals. All of these corpses. Heaven forbid. I mean, the goal that these guys have got. Hang on. Darts boy in here all. What's Sandal doing here?
Enchantment?
What happened?
Enchantment! Enchantment?
Yeah, Sandal is an enigma. I won't go into... yes. I've seen clips of it. Let's just say there's... So yeah, I'm pretty sure ours will probably tell you the fan theory before I will, but yeah, there's a fan theory surrounding Sandal. Ours, would you mind telling next time what the fan theories are about Sandal? If you're still there. Or he could be in the middle of typing fan theories.
A task?
What's next?
Get some more health potions. You know what? I'm not going to run around doing everything. I'm just going to keep pressing forward. We're close to the end now. Really close to the end. Think about how far we are last not small power at the very end of the first stream. Think about how far we've come as people, as characters, as figures in this setting.
Here they come.
how the alliance will change. The alliance will be nation
Slay them all!
Of course.
Let's just push forward, shall we? I don't care about looting at this point. I know I'm breaking the old traditional rule of the game. I always loot everything, but literally, this is the last mob fight we have left, and we're at the final boss. Let's do this. It's the mage. And then it's literally only let's let our health regen a little bit. And here we are, the final precipice. There's two ways to do this fight. Legitimately, by running around the legs of the Archdemon and just fighting it while fighting at the same time. Or you can cheese it by firing ballistas at it until it's like mostly dead. I'm gonna cheese it, because I don't trust myself to be able to do it. Right. I throw my last 3 mages at me. Well, I run over here. Here comes my ballista. Coming up to try and get ballistas. the cheese! It comes from my cheese! Away with you! I've never seen the Archdemon once. I've never seen the Archdemon once. Yeah, because I'm firing a ballista and I'm cheesing it. What are you gonna do now, Archdemon? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about this, huh? Huh? What are you gonna do about this? Do you give up? Do you wish parley? Do you wish I would give you my jar of dirt? And guess what's inside it? What say you? Huh? You want some of this cheese? You want some of this cheese? The tastiest fire-breathing cheese. Shit. Oh. That could have gone badly.
So be it.
Ah. I don't think the cheese helping is finished. Would you like more? Right. I'm gonna drink.
Make us breath! I am ready.
Keep them off. Care for more cheese. Right. The mages are dead. Bring in the elves. Bring in more cheese. Elves, I bequeath thee to deliver all the only cheese you have. Go, elves. Be the only you trust the hit. Don't like it, don't listen to my snobby, immortal and bullshit. In this setting, he made the elves more human, and that's why I'm concerned. Eliana!
You need help?
I told you to drink. Stop attacking and drink. Yeah, Eliana's dead. You cannot carry on. I'm trying to make it be sensible. Alistair, I want you to drink, and I shall do the same. I said I should do the same.
Well, alright.
Here we go! A booyah! The final boss is down! And I was the one to kill it. I got my final and that's the game. We've just got the outro left.
And so I shall.
And fitting the two people left standing in the fight are the two people who are integral to this fight. From a story perspective. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you cheese the Archdemon.
And then it was over. With the Archdemon dead, the Darkspawn horde quickly crumbled. Most fled back into the deep roads. They would remain a threat in the years to come, but the Blight had been ended before it had truly begun. Ferelden had been saved, and the entire kingdom rose up to joyously greet its new king.
Hurrah!
Grey Warden stood redeemed, and a new age had begun. But at what cost?
Now the epilogue. We get the epilogue.
My friends, we are gathered to celebrate those responsible for our victory. Of those who stood against the Darkspawn siege of Denerim, there is one in particular who deserves commendation. The one who led the final charge against the Archdemon remains with us still. An inspiration to all she saved that day. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the hero of Ferelden, the first Grey Warden to defeat the Blight since Garahel 4 centuries ago. My friend, It is hard to imagine how you could have aided Ferelden more. I think it only appropriate that I return the favor. Is there any boon that you might request of Ferelden's king? If it is within my power, I will grant it.
I asked for dwarves be aided in their constant, never-ending battle against the Darkspawn. May have defeated the Blight here, but the Darkspawn is still a threat to the dwarves.
Absolutely. The dwarves face the Darkspawn every day, don't they? Ferelden hereby offers its full military support to the new king of Orzammar, and will aid in reclaiming the Deep Roads. Let it also be known that the Arling of Amaranthine, once the land of Arl Howe, is now granted to the Grey Wardens. There they can rebuild, following the example of those who went before them. What are your plans? Will you remain with the Grey Wardens?
I think it is time I return to Orzammar.
Of course. I hope you know that you are always welcome in court, should you decide to return. There's a group of Ferelden citizens waiting outside to get a look at their hero. I suggest you make at least a brief appearance before they storm the gate. Just tell the guard at the door when you're ready.
Will do. But first, one final word with everyone we've made this journey with. Starting with the man of the hour.
So, we made it. I'm impressed, aren't you? The odds were completely against one of us actually getting to the Archdemon. But of course you would make it. I knew you would. I guess Morrigan was telling the truth after all. About the ritual. The rest of the Grey Wardens haven't arrived yet from Morlaix. But they've already sent questions. What should I tell them?
I think they deserve to know the truth.
That a Maleficar saved you and then ran off to have my demon baby? That has a certain ring to it, right?
Yeah, I know.
I suppose I'll just keep that to myself. I can shrug and look stupid. It's a talent.
One that you've
Speaking of Morrigan, do you know where she went? I'm told she vanished right after the battle. No goodbyes or anything.
I don't think she wants to be followed.
I'm just concerned about what that ritual is going to cost eventually. At any rate, I can see Arleman giving me that look. More king stuff, I suppose. It can never wait. And if I don't get the chance some other time, thanks. For everything.
This is hardly a goodbye. I may be going home to Orzammar, but I'm sure Beta would allow me to come visit you every now and again.
You're leaving, aren't you? And I'm not. I guess we'll see how things play out. But this certainly feels like an ending. At least for now. I'll let you get to your adoring public. They want to see the hero of Ferelden, and who am I to keep them waiting?
Before I continue this epilogue, I will say, I have not seen that many great epilogues, but in terms of epilogues that I have seen, this is probably the best one. We just get a big farewell. Even get a cameo from someone who was there in the original story as well. In our case, Gorum.
Ah, glorious! You've really showed these humans something. Took down the Blight practically single-handed.
It's good to see you here.
I'm not just here to witness the whole human spectacle, however. The Assembly contacted me with a message for you. I guess they figured once a manservant, always a manservant. Ah, I don't mind. Thing is, we've both been given leave to return to Orzammar.
Both of us?
Apparently. I went down with you. Seems I rise back up with you, too. Seems your brother's mighty grateful for what you did. We've been restored to House Iduken. Full rights and everything. Not only that, but the Assembly is considering naming you a Paragon. A Paragon in our time.
Paragon. That's amazing.
Not a bad change from an exiled murderer, no? Congratulations, my friend. I heard you weren't planning on staying. Think you might head back home? Lots of opportunities for you now.
That's the plan. I mean, who else is going to keep Balin from ruining the entire city?
Good. And I would be proud to take up my old position if you'll have me. At any rate, I'll let the humans get back to their dwarf worship. Still makes me smile to hear them talk.
It will nice to be return home after all this time. Although I'm pretty sure that Balin would allow me to come back up on the surface every now and again to see Alistair. I would have a hissy fit if you didn't.
It is over. I can barely believe it. You stopped the civil war and then defeated the Blight. On behalf of Ferelden, allow me to say thank you. It truly cannot be said enough.
You're welcome.
It's too bad that you aren't remaining here in the capital. The hero of Ferelden would have influence, but I understand. Myself, I will be remaining here to help Alistair. Tegan will take over the rule of Redcliffe, at least for the time being.
As I said, Alistair will still have help without me.
Isolde refuses to speak of what happened. She says she never wants to go back. I cannot thank you enough for saving them. They are the joy of my existence. Tell me, have you noticed anything strange about the lad? He seems quiet.
Considering what he's been through, I can completely understand why.
You are no doubt correct. It is my imagination, I am sure. But here I am rambling on. I shall let you get back to your celebration, Warden. Enjoy it while you can.
Thank you, Eamon. Good luck with the whole New Kingdom thing. Leliana.
So here we are. The conquering heroine has won the day, and now she takes her bow and exits the stage. A fine ending.
You should be taking a bow with me. You were vital in this.
And my part was small. I'm happy to watch you receive the accolades. It's quite fun. You know, I can't help now but think of my vision. The Maker sent me to help you, and look what you did. It's a miracle. It really is.
Earned our hand.
So, if I heard right, you'll be leaving soon. Any room for an extra body on your travels?
Sure, if you want to come along.
Good. Because there's nowhere I'd rather be than at your side. At any rate, I should let you get back to your celebration before someone drags you away. I look forward to seeing you again afterwards.
Yeah, we shall travel to... I don't mind some company along the road towards Orzammar. Zevran!
I will be relieved when all this pomp and ceremony is done. Such events are perfect opportunities for assassins, after all. I can't help but expect the crows to appear at any moment, which would be a welcome break, mind you.
You think the crows will still come after you?
Eventually. With Taliesin dead, it may take them time to figure out what has happened, but they are like the tides, predictable. You know, it does occur to me that staying in one place is only going to invite the crows to find me that much quicker. While fun, that might eventually get complicated. You said earlier that you are planning on leaving soon. Is that true?
That is indeed what I said.
And would you consider some company? You tend to get up to interesting things. You meet interesting people and then you kill them. I'm game to tag along if you are.
I would love to have you along, Zeb. You can meet my brother. You could punch him in the face every time he's a dickhead. I'd love to see that.
And I promise not to get you into too much trouble. Well, no more than you get me into, anyhow. Well then, since we're going to be leaving together, we can speak after you have been sufficiently paraded in front of the populace.
Extra pause and saying,
don't worry, I'll keep an eye on you and make sure no one gets a clear shot. Not without paying me a great deal.
We'll have more bodyguards this time. Bringing Leliana and Zevran with us to Orzammar will give us more bodyguards in case Balin tries to have a go to get rid of us again. Which This time I think it'll be much harder. Anyway, Grandma, have you got one final story to share?
The hero of Ferelden. My. How does it feel?
A little strange.
Of that I have no doubt. It's a title you'll be wearing for a long time to come, just as Loghain wore his. But it's not so bad, is it? A blight defeated with the other nations barely becoming aware. Who could ask for better?
I didn't do it on my own. I had help.
I don't think many heroes ever do. I'm glad not to be on the receiving end of all this attention myself. I say, let the young have their
Hey everyone! Wynn's here! Give us some acclaim!
Irving asked me to take over as first enchanter, but I don't wish to go back. Not after all this. Instead, I've decided to travel. Shale has expressed a desire to go to Devinter to look into a way to regain her mortality. And I will join her.
Sounds like fun.
I understand you will be leaving. I wish you good fortune on your journeys, wherever they may take you. If we do not see each other again, live well, Warden. And thank you.
Thank you to you as well, Wynn. You've earned your rest. Despite our differences. Where is Shale? Okay, Shale's not here for some reason. Anyway, Ogren?
Humans have a better taste for spirits than I thought. The ale up here is actually good. Orzammar ale tastes like dirt in comparison. Probably because they put dirt in it. Go figure.
Enjoying yourself already, I see.
After what we went through, I think I've earned it.
You did.
I think you've earned it. So I guess you're heading off soon, huh? Leaving the city?
That's the plan.
I'm thinking I'll stick around myself. At least for a bit.
Okay.
I'm getting used to that big sky up there. And I'm thinking I might just look up Felsi again. See where
She's
that
right
goes.
There. She's right next to you! I'm glad. I wish the best for you both.
Ha! I'll drink to that. Ah, well, enough babbling. That pot-bellied son of a whore Tegan said I'd pass out before drinking an entire barrel of pickle juice. I aim to prove him wrong.
I'm sure we could stay long enough to watch that before we leave, can we? A drinking contest between Ogren and Tegan. I would love to see that. Don't ever change, Ogren.
Who, me? It's been good traveling with you, Warden. Don't get lost in the shuffle now.
I was about to say Felsi's right next to you. Sten? No. Markiplier? Yeah. Sten?
It is good to see you again, Kadan. These people, they call you hero. It is a strange word, but I think I understand its meaning. The Arishok on occasion has declared a Kunari to be Kunoran Vel, one who serves as an example to others. Such examples are always made after their death, however, a death in service to the Kyun. A living Kunoran Vel would be too proud.
Do the Kunari celebrate and put on parades?
When a Kunoran Vel is declared, certainly. It is one of few occasions when the Kunari are permitted to engage in revelry. There is imbibing of spirits, public chanting, meditations abandoned. It is madness.
That would be quite a sight. I would love to see a Kunari pie.
It is interesting. It can take days for the Ben Hasrath to restore order. There may even be executions.
Okay.
I suppose I should tell you. I have decided to return to my people. Your quest is done, and thus so is my reason for accompanying you.
It'll be a long trip home.
Yes. It will be difficult to travel alone, after so much time spent with companions. It must be said, You found my sword and gave me a chance to restore my honor. I owe you a great debt.
You owe me nothing, Sten. You have repaid that debt far more than I could ever ask for.
Some debts cannot be discarded. There will come a time when I will return, and then it shall be done. Perhaps I shall see you again one day. Until then, may you always find the path you seek. Farewell, Kadan.
Farewell, Sten. It's time. I think we should end this. We've got one more block of. We've got a few more blocks of text to tell us what happened to the world around us, and the epilogue is complete.
Are you ready, my lady? The crowds outside are getting restless.
Can you still hear me voice in my head? Next time, can you hear me? You can hear me through Twitch, at least that's good. So, anyway, let's keep going. Let's do the epilogue.
Right. I'll take you there now. Follow me.
In the months that followed his coronation, Alistair proved to be a popular king. Yeah, I'll start the epilogue again. In the months that followed his coronation, Alistair proved to be a popular king. If largely unwilling to involve himself in matters of governing, he travelled often. Yes, I can hear you, by the way, Max. Making appearances in towns throughout Ferelden to the great delight of commoners. They referred to him as king with the king with the common touch, even if a few knew it was a simple aversion to life at court. News that the urn of sacred ashes had been found in Ferelden did not spread outside the Chantry until Brother Genevieve made an announcement several months after the defeat of the Darkspawn. A manuscript detailing his research and his experience with Andraste's cult drew huge interest among scholars through Phaedus. Some years later, the Chantry announced that the resting place of Andraste's ashes had indeed been found. They were located, however, in ruins that were also the lair of a high dragon, thus proving too dangerous to approach. Many made demands to secure the ashes so that followers could undertake pilgrimages to partake of their healing powers. So yeah, leaving the high dragon alive made it harder for pilgrims to go to the urn, but at the same time it made it harder for people to exploit them. So yeah, that small detail proved important. Following numerous failed attempts to deal with the dragon, the beast finally flew off to find another haven, but leaving the mountaintop sanctum in ruins. An excavation found no traces of the urn. People began to doubt that the ashes had ever been found, while others claimed that the cult of Andraste's followers stole them from the temple. Still, others say that the Maker himself removed the urn, deeming mankind unworthy of it. For now, what happened to the urn is simply unknown. If we'd have killed the High Dragon, people would have flocked to the urn and exploited it. So yeah, leaving the High Dragon in place, ironically, was the better option. Following months of effort, the Tower of the Circle of Magi was finally cleansed of the last spirits to slip through the veil. No further abominations were created, and First Enchanter Irving was pleased to declare the circle safe. And that could be saved, and all that could be saved had been. slavers shut down in the alienage, a lot of the city-born elves improved for a time. The new king even named the local elder to his personal court. The scandal amongst the humans brought a sign of new hope to the elves. Gianni continued to be an outspoken member of the alienage community, and in time became a new elder. Young, that outspokenness earned her frequent trouble but served her people well. Al-Aman remained in Denerim for some time, acting as the Chancellor and Chief Advisor to King Alistair. Tegan ruled over Redcliffe instead, and was surprised to find himself well loved by the villagers, who were still grateful for the nights he spent defending their lives in time. Even abdicated in favour of his brother. An event the locals greeted with Dalish elves prospered after the siege of Denerim, having earned much respect for their part in the battle. Once human lands welcomed the wandering folk. The new keeper, Lanaya, was respected both amongst the Dalish as well as in the Ferelden court. She was a voice of reason, and other Danish clans would turn to her to help resolve disputes with human folk. In time, many of the Danish clans moved to the new land provided for them in the south near Ostergar. Wary of their human neighbours, however, tensions soon rose again, and only keeping Lanaya's leadership kept peace alive. In Orzammar, King Balaam quickly proved himself a reformer. Trade with the surface lands increased, and caste restrictions were loosened. Casteless were permitted to take arms against the Darkspawn in exchange for new freedoms. For the first time in generations, the line in the deep roads was pushed back, and the few things were reclaimed. Balin's reforms quickly found him enemies within the warrior and noble castes, however. And after several assassination attempts, the assembly was dissolved. The king then ruled alone. Some said as a tyrant, others said as a visionary determined to drag Orzammar into the modern world. The assembly unanimously declared Freya a living paragon. Following months of deliberation, a new statue was erected in the Commons and a new house founded in the paragon's name, quickly drawing a great number of followers from every caste. The dwarven mage Dagna ultimately completed her studies at the rebuilt Circle Tower on the surface. Eventually, she published a comprehensive theory of how lyrium vapors relate to the supply of magic. It gained a great deal of attention. So yeah, she basically became a dwarven scholar. That's cool. No. Dwarves literally cannot use magic, so the best she can do is actually be a dwarven scholar who actually studies alongside the mage. This inspired mages from other parts of Thedas to establish a new circle of magi in Orzammar itself. One that had ready access to dwarven lyrium and lies outside the Chantry's power completely. The willingness of Orzammar to hide the apostate sparked outrage that began whispers that the Divine was contemplating a new exultant march against Orzammar. Great! The church had to try and get their asses involved, didn't they? Freaking A. Seems like our Grey Warden isn't done fighting yet because the church might in fact attack her home. Although the Anvil of the Void was destroyed, rumours about the location crept into Orzammar. Years later, thanks to the defeat of the Darkspawn on the surface, a few determined Smith managed to locate the Anvil's remains. They examined the ruins of the anvil, and upon returning to Orzammar with their findings, convinced the Shaper to attempt to recreate the Caridin's research. A new golem was created, bound with a spirit taken from the Fade. The golem immediately went insane, killing several Shapers before it was destroyed. The research was branded excessively dangerous and sealed away. Whispers of its existence circulated throughout Orzammar, and demand among the Smith caste to reopen Caridin's research refused to abate. As good as her word, Morrigan disappeared once the Archdemon was slain. Someone of Morrigan's description was seen travelling alone months later, heading west through the Frostback Mountains, and she may have been with child. As for Freya's companions, they went their separate ways. When Freya finally left Emerald to continue her travels, Leliana went with her, electing to remain with the woman she loved. They continued their adventures together, at least for a time. As the blighted lands began to heal and the Grey Wardens slowly rebuilt the order in Amaranthi, they discovered that the fight against the Darkspawn was not yet complete. Although the Horde was routed and had dissolved upon the Archdemon's death, many of the more powerful Darkspawn survived to organise roving war bands that preyed both upon the lands and upon each other. The war band spread havoc, and some even journeyed west into Orlais or across the shining sea by the deep roads. They proved incredibly difficult to wipe out. These are tales yet to be told. This tale ended when Freya sank her blade into the Archdemon's head and destroyed it forever. It was not the last that Ferelden would hear of her, however. And that was Dragon Age Origins. There is DLC to be explored in this game, but I won't be exploring it with this character. As far as this character is concerned, her journey's ended. She decided to go back to Orzammar to try and keep a leash on Balin, and as far as we know, her next fight is rumoured to be against the Chantry, because the frickin' church. So as far as this character is concerned, this is it for Dragon Age Origins. The next time we stream will be Dragon Age 2. So, as the credits roll, what is your final thoughts of this game? Did you like it? It's the first question. It's very... I would probably say Dragon Age Origins is my favourite example of a silent protagonist, but at the same time I get what you mean. Yeah, I can hear you. I get what you mean. I kind of like the silent protagonist angle of things if it's done well. So, for example, in this game it's done incredibly well in my opinion, so I have no problem with it. But I've also seen silent protagonist games where it makes no sense. in the majority of BioWare games, it is like that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping I'm not going to get copyrighted by this song, which I shouldn't, but at the same time, I'll be careful. Anyway, the thing I praise most about this game with the silent protagonist is, like you said, I can praise the majority of BioWare games for this. A lot. I'm gonna have to stop the credits there because it's getting to a song that's copy wrong. Yes, I'm gonna get rid of it. Get back onto the main screen for this final. I'm gonna get back to the main menu screen for the final the final analysis of this game. The thing about this game and the vast majority of BioWare games is this: every single choice your character makes matters. There's been examples in the later games where they've stopped doing that and it's had a lot of panning, but for the vast majority of the early to mid BioWare games, including the entire Mass Effect and Dragon Age, especially Mass Effect and Dragon Age, your choices have even the smallest choices your character makes have a huge impact on the story going forward. It may not be immediately visible in some cases, but as shown by this game, I'd say this game's got the best example of it. Even the tiniest decisions, like for example, choosing not to fight the High Dragon in the mountains, it had a huge impact on what happened with the Chantry's pilgrimages afterwards. Basically, leaving the dragon in place to defend the ashes stopped bandits in the like actually coming in to feign a holy pilgrimage to actually steal the ashes and take advantage of them. The excavations gave the supernatural time for the ashes to waste away. And the superstitions of, the Maker got rid of the ashes, it's probably not the case, but it works for me. It works for me. It actually stopped them exploiting such a powerful and holy sanctum. There's also the small thing of that one side quest that we did. That one side quest that we did for Dagna ended up having greater relations between the dwarves and the mages. Helped out a lot. Our little request from Alison led to greater relations between Ferelden and Orzammar, which also helps. So if you think about it, if the Chantry of South Beta's called an exalted march on the dwarves, technically the only forces they'd be able to muster would be the forces of Orlais, because Ferelden would refuse, the Dalish have no reason to do anything, so they would refuse. So basically the forces that the Church could muster against the dwarves, if they could muster any at all, would be very minimal and very easy for the dwarves to fight back, because they forget that the hero of Ferelden is a dwarf. So I don't think a lot of people would want to attack the person who saved them from the Blight, would they? And we can continue this discussion off screen. Thank you for watching this game. I've been excited for ages to stream this, and I've finally done so. As I said, I don't know when I'll be doing my next stream because it depends on schedules and everything, but the next game I will be streaming will be Dragon Age 2, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. I've been Cord, and I should go. See you later, good night, and God bless.